It is the toughest 8 seconds in sport. Mere mortals trying to tackle over a ton of meat and muscle. Hell-bent on doing whatever it takes to tame the untamable. The shortest payday on the planet can also be the most dangerous. And for the animal athletes that these cowboys climb atop, the goal is simple: dismount and destroy.
Watch this bull! Whoa! Oh, Monster Energy Protection athletes doing everything they can.
This is professional bull riding and the PBR Australia Monster Energy Tour. A new year and new opportunities. The slate wiped clean for the start of the 2024 PBR Australia Monster Energy Tour as riders return on a level playing field. Scores reset in Scone, our first stop for the new year. Old heads and young guns all looking to stamp their authority on the new season early. Bull riding is a confidence sport where belief is everything. Some of the best in the nation have gathered in the thoroughbred capital of New South Wales, looking to jump out of the gates quickly. For many of those, the 2023 PBR Australia Grand Finals were still fresh in their minds. The 2023 PBR Australia Monster Energy Tour Grand Finals were set to be an epic battle, but defending champion Cody Heffernan was out with a late season injury.
I don't know the extent of the injury yet to the knee. Bit of internal bleeding, and doctor said he does not want to see me riding this weekend.
You have to be tough to compete in the PBR, and one man had emerged from the pack with an appropriate name through 2023, Macaulay Leather.
Toowoomba, I got on a wedge of good ones, and it all just clicked from there and just kept the momentum rolling through the rest of the year.
However, some of the best in the country were on his heels. Lachlan Richardson.
Go, Lockie!
Kurt Shepherd.
Kurt rode him for 85.5 and 82.5. Can he ride him again?
And four-time champion Aaron Klyer.
Come on, champ! Holy cow!
Night one saw our Cowboys clash with an unforgiving pen of bulls.
Whoa! Oh man, I hope he is okay. Watch this bull! Rambo! Whoa! Oh, Monster Energy Protection athletes doing everything they can. Ladies and gentlemen, how about the 3 men in green?
Our bovine athletes created carnage through rounds 1 and 2.
Oh man. And the hits keep coming.
But the Cowboys held their own at times.
Tough man, tough bull, tough matchup. Yes, sir!
Returning stars.
Oh, the Texas Rattlers team member is on fire.
Past champions.
And it is rides like that that has made him one of the most dominating bull riders of his generation.
And those looking to claim the national championship buckle for the very first time.
And the #1 ranked bull rider in Australia, Macaulay Leather, dominating one more time.
Come night 2, only 2 could win the championship.
The PBR starts now.
And Aaron Klyer didn't want to be denied for a second year running.
Oh, he is the first man to ride 3 bulls this weekend.
Macaulay Leather looked to do the same in round 3, but came up short.
This is Macaulay Leather, the #1 bull rider in the country. Oh!
And whilst the championship was a race in 2, there was another with his eye on the grand final event gold buckle.
He's ridden 2 already. No, let's make it 3. the highest score of the weekend, 87 points.
Brady Fielder leading the event after 3 rounds, but none of our big 3 managed to cover their bulls in round 4. So it would come down to the Monster Energy Championship round. First to go would be our series leader, Macaulay Leather.
I'm sorry for partying, Boss Hog. If he rides this bull, he could be the next PBR Australian champion. And this is a ranked pen of bucking bulls any which way you look at it. The number 1 bull rider for 2023 coming down.
That meant one more shot for Aaron Clier to try and make history by claiming 5 championship titles.
The number 2 bull rider, Aaron Clier, and Fiddler Industries' Pretty Boy has never been ridden. Can he be the first? And the Can-Am clock says 6.91 seconds.
The championship decided, Macaulay a maiden winner. Meanwhile, Brady Fielder put an exclamation mark on his event win.
Brady Fielder knows exactly what pressure feels like. Let's see if he can do it. Can he become the first man to ride a bull in the championship round? Clock says 8 seconds.
A fantastic finish for Fielder, but the night belonged to Macaulay.
Your PBR Australian champion is Macaulay Leather.
One thing that makes every round of the PBR as spectacular as every other is the quality of the bulls. And our first round in Scone is no different, with some of the best from the grand finals also bucking out over the 2 nights at White Park. Contractors arriving with their stock in peak condition. Our riders hoped they too had done enough in the off-season to prepare for these opening rounds. The task seems simple: get on and hold on. But let's have a look at what makes an 8-second ride count and score in the PBR.
Bull riding, the toughest sport on dirt. How is it scored? First, the basics. The athlete must stay on the bull for 8 seconds. The clock starts when the bull's shoulders or hips have cleared the chute. The athlete must ride with only one hand gripping the bull rope. The clock will stop when the rider loses his grip from the bull rope, or any part of his body hits the ground before 8-second ride is over, will result in a no score. If he touches the bull or any part of his own body with the free hand or arm before the 8-second ride is over, the rider is disqualified. The athlete's ride and the bull's performance are judged separately. Officials score the bull on how hard the bull bucks and how high he kicks, power, speed, spin, and direction change. Athletes are scored by their control, rhythm, and how they match movement with the bull. While spurring the bull is not required, if a rider wants to earn extra points, they can do so by pulling their leg away from the bull to demonstrate control. There are a total of 100 points available for a qualified ride. That is, 50 points for the rider and 50 points for the bull. An average score will be in the 80s, where an exceptional ride will be in the 90s. Judges will award a re-ride if the bull underperforms and the score is less than 80. The athlete with the highest point total from the entire event becomes the event winner.
Scone, country New South Wales, these days known as the home of the thoroughbred. But for thousands of years, these lands have belonged to the Wanneroo people and the tribes of the Tullong and Moraine. Tonight, horses will be swapped for an animal far harder to tame, the bulls of the PBR waiting to claim their cowboy victims. White Park to play host to the opening act of the 2024 PBR Australia Monster Energy Tour, with the competition being held over 2 nights. It's time to find out who will take the early ascendancy on night 1.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to welcome you here this afternoon to start the 2024 PBR Tour of Australia right here in the heart of the Hunter Valley. Let's hear it for Australia's Lockie Richardson! From Calliope, Queensland, the one and only Macaulay Leather!
Well, Morgs, I think we have waited long enough. We are on the edges of our seats. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of Scone, it is time. Round 1, Section 1, brought to you by Ram Trucks.
Darcy McBean, the very first to buck out in Scone on Village Idiot.
Hey, folks, we want you to get a little rowdy. Let's get it on. Well, unfortunately for the young man from Catherine, folks, he was out tough. He was around to the right in his hand.
And the Bulls take ascendancy early. Jono Cooling is outmuscled by Mouth of the South. Before Jack Broderick can't get the job done on Kickstart My Heart.
Kickstart My Heart.
Riley Eade also fails to make the distance on Tennessee Whiskey.
Australian professional bull riders.
That brings up Dan Rulin on Vertical Limits.
Hey, this is another of the Lazy G bucking bulls. This time round, it is Vertical Limits. Come on now, let's get around that corner, Dan. Yeah, like it. Oh, man. Well, we're going to have to see what the timers say the scores.
Unfortunately for Dan, the timer stopping at 7.09 seconds, coming up just short on Vertical Limits. That sets the scene for the reigning series champion Macaulay Leather from Calliope, Queensland, to climb aboard his first bull of the season, Jury Duty.
He has a 51.4% ride conversion rate. Went to a total of 42 events last season, won 9 of them. And the bull that he's drawn in this round, Macaulay Leather, is Jury Duty. Hey, this is a new bull from the Troy Keeler team. Bucked off Kyle Hall at Keevan earlier in the season. And we're going to start the action. It's the Can-Am shoot to bring us our first cowboy out, Macaulay Leather. Oh, man. Well, I tell you, he was a little out of line. Man, oh, man, that was too close for calling.
Jury Duty taking just 3.3 seconds to hand out a verdict of no score to Leather. Thomas Hudson, the next cowboy to go on Paintbox.
We saw Macaulay Leather ride him back in April last year in Newcastle at the Entertainment Centre for 83.5 points. Well, it's a tough way to get started. Boy, making some rounds. Oh, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, come on, let's put our hands together for him. Boy, he was out and about. Man, Lee watched the replay on this scene. He got low. He got low.
Hudson deciding to challenge, saying he was fouled on the way out of the gates. The ride is reviewed by the Statesman's Hats official. The decision, a re-ride for Hudson. That paved the way for another former Australian champion to have his shot. Fraser Babington, the veteran from New Zealand, loaded in the chute on After Dark.
The bull that he's drawn, this is MJ Keeler's bucking bull, After Dark. Oh, man. Boy, he was out strong. He's what we nearly call an eliminator when it comes to the bullpen. Boy, he was tough, he was deep, he was out strong and around to the left.
An impressive out by After Dark, earning a 42.5 point bull score. That would prove to be the highest score of any of our bulls on night one. Macaulay had fallen in round one. Now the reigning champion's younger brother, Boston Leather, gets his shot to show his wares on Way Out West.
Siren sounds. Leave the rest to the judges in our competition.
The bull clearly lost his footing, and Boston Leather is awarded a re-ride by the judges. He will be back later in the evening. The last man to go on the second section of round two is Lachlan Richardson from Gresford, New South Wales, just a stone's throw from Scone. He has drawn Sniper, the 7-time World Finals qualifier looking to get it done in front of a home crowd.
Man slides up, Lockie Richardson. Let's get it on, Lockie. Oh, man. Boy, oh boy, that's going to be a close call for the officials. That was a Lazy G Bucking Bull, the sniper.
Unfortunately for the veteran from the Hunter Valley, who now calls Northern Queensland home, 5.75 seconds means no score. So the Bulls clearly on top in round one. 10 riders had been out and none had scored. Bryn Francis will try next on Humdinger.
This is our PBR Monster Energy Tour of Scone. Man. Boy, he came here. The Humdinger from Dunn's Bucking Bulls came with a purpose. He was here.
A 41.5 point score for the Dun Bull. Next to go, Toby Hale on Ariat West Point, hoping to be the first rider to make the 8.
Great night to get a jump start in the competition. It's down to the out and around. Hey, we're getting him done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've been a little quiet tonight. Let's hear for the boy from Serena, Queensland. 19 years young. Toby Hale.
Finally, the Cowboys on the board, 82.5 points for Hale. With $20,000 in prize money on offer across the weekend and only qualified rides being eligible, at this point, it all belongs to Hale. But there are plenty of riders who want to get their hands on some of the dough. And next to try will be Clint Glass on Endgame.
As we travel the length and breadth of Australia, I can tell you, he was 84 points at Maitland. He was 84.5 points at Corindi. Well, that wasn't the way that he would have liked to start proceedings.
Disappointment for Clint. He'll have to wait for tomorrow night to make his mark. Next to go is Eli Toby, one of the few First Nations Cowboys that will compete across the year.
You talk about as far north in Queensland as you can possibly ever venture. It's a place called Normanton, in the Gulf country of far north Queensland. It's also the home of a 20-year-old bull rider called Eli Toby. First year on the PBR Tour, and the bull that he's drawn, a new young bull from the Dunn team. This is called Havoc. Now the process is just about complete, and he says, let's go. Well, he did create a little havoc. It's a long way from Normanton. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to put your hands together for the kid from Normanton, North Queensland, Eli Toby.
Havoc is hard to handle and a tough ask on your first day out, but he will be back tomorrow night to have another shot. Speaking of second shots, it's time for Thomas Hudson's re-ride on Midnight Special.
From the Diamond S Bucking Bulls, he was awarded a rerun. He takes that from the Ariat chute here tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it up. Come on, let's hear it for the young man, Thomas Hudson. Well, judges now have the job to put numbers together. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what I have for you is a score for the young man of 85.5 points.
Thomas Hudson, our new leader in Scone. Tyson Smith is next.
Tyson Smith on the Lazy G Bucking Bull. Well, that was the Rusty Latoon.
Also going around again, Boston Leather on After Party.
And has not been ridden at any of the majors. Boston Leather's opportunity. Oh, man.
After Party continues his unbeaten run. That brings up Jackson Field.
And the bull that he's drawn from the Morgan Cattle Company, Man Glitter. Ladies and gentlemen, what about our athletes here tonight?
Monster Energy protection athletes doing everything possible to get the bull away from Jackson, who escapes relatively unscathed. Next up, a man who was a regular on the PBR Australia tour for many seasons. After taking time away from the sport, he has returned.
I just stepped away, started a business and had a family and just getting married soon there and had a little girl and she's 3 months old now, so she's just big enough now to sort of giggle and watch sort of what's going on, and it's pretty good to cart her around. Just sort of stood away from the bull ride. Didn't know if I was going to come back as such, but you know, the drive never sort of left me, and I kept rodeoing just at little rodeos and thought, you know what, I'm still riding as good as I can, so let's get back to the main stage. As soon as we get here, you know, I'm focused on what we're doing and just here to, you know, ride and provide for my family.
Lane Mellors on Wild Jacket.
Another bull, 5 starts, 1 qualified ride. He was ridden last year in Maribel in South Australia by Will Purcell. Well, boy, he says, my job's done.
A 2.5-second workday for Wild Jacket. Our Cowboys still only have 2 scores on the board. The next to go is the 2023 rookie champion Zane Hall, and he will start his pursuit of the Australian Open Championship on Juicy Jacket.
And the bull that he's called the Juicy Jacket. Boy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one thing tonight, you will never deny the young man's ability to try. Let's top him up with a round of applause. Zane Hall's effort here tonight on Juicy Jacket.
The rookie champ out of shape early and unable to recover. Looking a little dazed, he leaves the arena and will have to wait for night 2 to try and make his impression on the leaderboard. Kai Bagheero goes next on Smoke Show.
Kai Bagheero, at this point of time, second-year contender. Boy, got him started, but man. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? He's a long, long way from North Queenslander Scone. Let's make him feel welcome, folks. Round number 1, it was a 4.19 effort.
Josh Grant will try his hand on Del Rio.
Well, it's no disgrace to be bucked off Del Rio from the mains bucking bulls.
The man from Windella in New South Wales unable to make the 8. Our next rider has come from much further afield. William Duggan, a man all the way from Belgium, who bucks bulls with his father all over the European continent. He has drawn Nemesis as his first bull on the PBR Australia tour.
From Westerlo, Belgium. You talk about international bull riders. He'd be the first and only Belgian bull rider that we've ever seen here competing in Scone. 27 years of age, and boy, he's felt the force. That time it was Nemesis. Mains barking bulls, that bull's only ever been ridden once. He was ridden last year back in September.
Duggan experiencing what it's like to be down under in more ways than one. Our next rider will be Ben Bode on Bex.
Ben Bode, Calliope from the Dodge Range Truck Shoot. Boy, he's getting him done. Oh no! Well, man, oh man, he took a cheap shot at him. Looks like officially it's going to be a 5.83, the free hand touchdown.
Our bulls destroying the field of riders on night 1. Lane Hanush Bowen can't get past Canadian Club. Toby Adams has no answers on Felt Jacket. And that leaves just Jackson Gray to try and solve the puzzle on Mystery.
Ridden on 7 occasions for an average score of 85.5. Boy, sits him down. Well, it was out and around. Boy, he shortened him up.
A dominant display by the bulls on night 1, and it makes for a lonely leaderboard. Thomas Hudson and Toby Hale, the only men with points beside their names. Each rider will get 2 more shots on night 2, So the Scone Invitational buckle is still well and truly up for grabs. The PBR Australia Monster Energy Tour, and it's the start of a long year. Scone, New South Wales hosting the first event where bull riders of all ages have come together, all with the same dream of making a name for themselves in the toughest sport on dirt. The ultimate goal, a ticket to the US, where big money awaits.
You know, from our perspective, we're just the pathway into the US. So we feed our guys into the Unleash the Beast and the Velocity Tour in the United States, and now with the new teams deal, they're also another pathway for those guys to ride for another $13 million odd. So there's some great opportunities there, but we're also sort of focusing on our Can-Am Junior Academy. This is where we sort of cater for kids from age 7 to 18, and we're just trying to break them into the sport, get them mentored by the better riders and stuff like that, and otherwise nutritionists and trainers, and sort of let them know what it takes to be a champion bull rider in their career, and if we can get into them at this age and get them in front of the camera, teach them all about media and stuff like that, teach them about the business, it's very important to get these guys sort of in the right direction early. But it's not just about these kids riding, I see this as a succession plan for our industry too, because they got siblings and partners that come and watch them, so I want to get them integrated into, announcing what we're doing with Bo Cosgrove and judging and doing the shows. I mean, I guess my big goal is I want to see these kids produce their own grand finals, and hopefully we can get that achieved by 2025.
Bo Cosgrove is one of those honing his skills under this world-first initiative by PBR Australia.
We had radios and watch him, and he'd probably last 6.5 seconds. But when I was a little kid, we used to be out at rodeo. I used to say, "Buck him, Daddy, ride him, Daddy, re-ride, buck him." And everyone thought I was swearing at the point, and that's how I got into it, and just fell in love with it.
Clearly passionate about the sport, he remembers getting the call for the first time.
Glenn Young was on the phone, and I was just like, "Hello, who's this?" and stuff, and what you really doing on the phone? And he's like, "This is Glenn Young, the CEO of the PBR." My face just lit up like firework. Like, what in the world? And he basically asked me to get on the ball, and I'm up in tears, and my mum, me and up in tears, and basically it was a 100-metre walk to get to the camp draft arena. And I'm walking all the way there going to tell my dad, end of the year, he's like, "Babe, do you want to do some dance?" And I'm just like, hell yeah! Like anything to do with bullfighting, except for bullfighting. Like, that's out of the question. Won't do that, but...
Bullfighting, maybe not, but Bo has been on the back of more than one of these brutes.
Are you ready to watch Bo Cosgrove live his dream?
We go to Tamworth, I get on him, bighorns, very cute, but he's still got that danger. And then Glenn's one guy, how about we get him on up at the finals there and get up there? Thought I never would get up there because I just didn't really have big dreams, because I am a disabled person, and that doesn't stop me, and yeah.
This is a unique sport. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It's weekend work. It's 7 days a week a lot of the time, a lot of miles to be done. So it takes somebody that has the passion for the sport, and kids like Bo Cosgrove have got it. He showed up, and we threw him in the deep end announcing, and we did that at the grand finals of the Junior Academy Grand Finals in Tamworth last year. It went amazingly well, and we got him back here this weekend, and we're going to keep utilising him as our junior commentator with the likes of Glenn Morgan and Warren Metodic and whoever else announces as well. So, for me personally, I see that as a big part of our industry, and that's something that we really need to focus on, is nurturing these kids through in all aspects of the sport, not just the riding aspect, but also the business and the cameraman and everything like that. There's so much opportunity here for them.
Our junior riders put on a brilliant show. Past champions and some of the best senior riders in the country on the back of the chutes, helping guide them along.
PBR's created this junior academy to help bring them along and show them the way, get them used to the bright lights of the PBR. And I think it's a great environment for them to learn on, appropriate bulls that, should suit their levels.
One who came through the rising star ranks and hoping to kick off 2024 in style, Toby Hale.
Never really had a lot to do with the PBR until I done the Rising Stars. That was a pretty cool deal, and done that, and then done a year's rodeo, and then I just kind of want to get it simple and just ride bulls kind of all the time. So that's when I come here and thought it was pretty cool.
He would be up in Section 3 on night 2, but first to go in Section 1 is a past champion of the sport, New Zealand's Fraser Babington on Havoc.
Well, I tell you, he played Havoc.
Jack Broderick next. He's driven from just west of Canberra for his shot on Endgame.
Now, this bull has been bucked out on 13 occasions for 7 qualified rides. Boy, it's going to make it 14-7 for the young Bungadore Cowboys.
Kai Baguero will look to steady things for the Cowboys on Unstable.
Be through to the next round of that competition.
Get up him, Scone.
Well, you know our athletes, ladies and gentlemen, as well as I do. Let's put our hands together for him one more time. Eric Richardson, Corey Duncan and Nick Wilson.
Jono Cooling ready to try his hand on Outback Cat.
12 starts, 3 qualifying rides. Come on, John. Oh.
And that brings up Toby Hale, looking to be the first man to get 2 scores on the board in Scone.
Now, this bull's had 3 trips to the PBR. Never has he been ridden. Bucked off guys like Brodie Woodard, Philippa Braga, Dan Rulin. And tonight will be his 4th ever attempt. Let's see if we get it done.
Come on, Cowboy. Come on, Cowboy. Get it done. Get it done. Oh, Scone, you can be louder than that.
Well, we've waited 2 days in a competition. The score has affected the overall position. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, 82 points, but better still, over 2 rounds, 164.5. There is your leader, Toby Hale.
Lane Mellors is looking to kickstart his comeback on De Bear.
The bull from Lazy G Bucking Bulls out of Tamworth is De Bear. Another from the Brodie family, Brodie and Mick Gray. Well, he's out, he's on, he's making the turns. We're seeing back-to-back performances. Come on, Lane. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we pay the admission for. Well, ladies and gentlemen, come on, let's put our hands together for the young boy from Mundabra, Queensland.
Our Cowboys going back-to-back, 83.5 for Mellors. Next to try will be Lachlan Richardson, hoping to make it 3 in a row.
Grew up in Gresford. Let's go with Lockie Richo.
Stay with him, Lock. Stay with him. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that is how we get it done. 3 from 3.
Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, he can hear you now. One of Australia's greatest and most decorated PBR qualifiers, Lachlan Richardson. It was an Ariat matchup on Rusty Latoon.
Richardson putting himself on the board with an 81.5 point score. And loaded in the chute, trying to make it a run of 4 in a row for the Cowboys, the reigning Australian champion, Macaulay Leather, on Why Be a Hero.
Boys, we're set to go. Macaulay Leather, the current Australian bull riding champion. Oh, man. Why Be a Hero? 6.5 from the Lazy G Bucking Bulls. I tell you something, that bull's got an incredible career.
Eli Toby next. His journey has been a long one, just to be here.
Well, you know what? Here is a 20-year-old bull rider, first year on the Australian tour, all the way from Normanton in far north Queensland. Now, that's a little town right up in the Gulf of Carpentaria, and I tell you what, this kid has been travelling extensively. Been down to the bull ridings in Rockhampton, has failed to qualify there. Down to Scone, and the bull that he's drawn tonight, highly strung. Well, this is another new bred bull off the Dunn's property up there in central Queensland. Let's see if we can get him done.
Oh, great height, great extension. Highly strung, getting high off the dirt.
Ben Bode will try next on Ariat West Point.
He's ready to do battle here tonight in Scone. A Calliope bull rider. Hey, he's getting on. Man.
Oh!
Well, I think they're going to have him on the ground at 5.81 seconds, young Ben, at 23 years of age. Tonight is all about the experience here in the Hunter Valley.
That brings up Boston Leather, hoping to get his season off to a good start and emulate his brother's efforts from 2023.
From Troy Keeler, bucking bulls. Jury duty, 2 outs for O. Here we go. Let's see how he goes. Let's hear him go.
Not much deliberation from jury duty. Boston sent to the ground in short time. Ready and shoot, Jackson Field on just right.
Here we go. Go Jackson, hold on. Ride and cover! Ride and cover! Oh, riding is what he did, boys. We've got the clock showing Cowboy!
Man, I tell you what, I think his brain was saying touchdown, but his body's saying no way I'm gonna.
Jackson hanging on until the death and getting an 80.5 score for his troubles. That leaves just Josh Grant to go in round 2 on Forever Young.
Slides up, let's get it on. It's Ariat time. Oh, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, come on, let's put our hands together for Josh Grant. He's efforts from Windella.
Josh dumped by the MJ Keeler bucking bull. And so after 2 rounds of competition, Toby Hale, our only rider with 2 scores on the board, on top of the Monster Energy leaderboard, ahead of Thomas Hudson, Clint Glass, Lane Mellors and Lachlan Richardson. Any one of those can win the event, but with the money on the line and 18 returning for the championship round, there's plenty of action still to come. The PBR Australia Monster Energy Tour, and we are in the Upper Hunter of New South Wales, Scone, an area that has been home to the Wanneroo people and the tribes of the Tullong and Murrain for millennia. We have had 2 rounds of competition across 2 nights, the Bulls flexing their muscle and only allowing 6 scores so far. Now the rankest of all will line up against our top 18 riders for one last showdown. Any of our 6 leading men can take out the event win, but with $20,000 prize money to be shared out amongst those who score, there was more than enough incentive for everyone in the field to do their best. First man out, a representative of not only a small town in Northern Australia called Normanton, but also of First Nations athletes.
20 years of age. Boy, and the bull was Ariat Lost Soul. 14 times he's been out. Never, ever has he been ridden. And tonight he lies down with a 1.48 seconds.
Given a nudge by Ariat Lost Soul after the dismount, but Eli Toby will walk away from Scone without a score. A tough break after travelling so far. Second to go is Dan Ruland on Haunted.
From Mount Walker, Queensland, a 3rd year on the professional bull riding tour. 22 years young. The bull that is drawn from the Lazy G bucking bulls in conjunction with Potter Partnership, this is Haunted. He's been out 5 times, has only ever been ridden once by Cody Heffernan back in October of last year in Tamworth. Well, it's a little unfortunate for the young man, a little out of shape, Dan Ruland. Another of the young men falls short of luck. 1.73 here in the short round.
The Bulls once again off to an explosive start. Kai Bagheero will try to break their dominance on Nemesis.
Only ever ridden once, and that was by Sam Woodall down at Maitland back in September.
Go, Kai! Hold on, Kai! Stick it! Stick it!
Oh! Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's back on earth. Let's put our hands together for PBR's effort.
Feet on the ground and hands in the air. PBR scoring 82.5 points on Nemesis. That brings up the 2023 rookie champion, Zane Hall. His bull in the Monster Energy Championship round, Humdinger by Dun Bulls.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? If you put your left hand with your right hand and clap it as hard as you can, we're going to hear this right around the nation. Zane Hall's efforts on Humdinger.
Lane Hanush Bowen goes next on Hunting Ground.
Lane is one of those successful stories that's come through that Rising Stars category. Tonight, can he continue good form on this bull from the Mains Bucking Bulls? Hunting Ground. Well, just looking to get him to stand a little, trying to rock him and move his momentum so as he can allow him to get a leg down either side. It's on, it's game day.
Hold on, let's go, Lane.
Well, we saw the value of those athletes, ladies and gentlemen. They're our protection athletes, Eric Richardson. Boy, don't they do an amazing job.
Lane getting out of trouble, but failing to score. Boston Leather ready to go on Paintbox.
Oh, man.
But he's awarded a re-ride and will come back later in the round. Jono Cooling up next on Tropical Rash.
This is the Tropical Rash from Dun Bucking Bulls. 20 times out, only ever ridden twice. Jono calling into the corner. Well, he knew. He tried to get around that first corner, and unfortunately for Jono, he fell into the centrifugal force, whipped him down short, fast man.
Toby Adams is drawn After Party by MJ Keeler Bucking Bulls.
Works for Mum and Dad's property out there in Mendoran in the Central West. Toby Adams.
Let's go, Toby. Well, he did everything there. Poor old Toby. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw where he ended up down there. Let's get loud for this young cowboy.
Adams starting off strong, but the final celebrations were left for After Party. After Dark then took a stumble with Bryn Francis on his back. He was awarded a re-ride by the judges. Both rider and bull departing in good health. That brings up Ben Bode on Midnight Special.
He's a rideable bull and he's a cowboy that can get the job done, as we've seen. He looked good on his last out here just earlier tonight.
He's pretty experienced. He competed late last year in a lot of events in the USA. We saw him in Louisville, Texas, and Fort Worth. Out and around the corner, all popped a little low into that first corner. Well, you can see him when he watches that replay on the big screen. Simon, you'll see, as this young man, Ben, will also note, the fact is the bull got out, faded back to the left. He dropped in a little too tight. Man, he anticipated, he overreacted, and of course the outcome was bucked down onto the arena at 3.14 seconds.
New South Welshman Jack Broderick up next on Sniper by Lazy G Bucking Bulls.
Yeah, he comes from Bungendore. That's a little town on the eastern side of Canberra, the home of all of our politicians. Doing a magnificent job, Simon. You'd have to agree. God love him. Man, oh man. Let's go bull riding. Hey, here's one we like. Jack Broderick. Looking good, looking shiny. Come on, Scone. Oh, man. Well. Oh, no.
7.61 seconds. Bull riding can be a cruel sport.
Scone, come on, get those hands together. Coming so close on Sniper.
Man, it was a mighty fine effort. Sniper goes unwritten again tonight. That's a Lazy G Bucking Bull. Mick Gray and Brody, they're out of Tamworth. He'd be happy with his efforts. That was 10-1. He now got 10-1 alongside his name.
And so up next will be Lane Mellors, already with a score on the board and in contention to win the event. He's drawn Tough Walk by Mains Bucking Bulls.
Now, this is one that I spoke to Scott Mains earlier tonight. out of Tamworth. Tough Walk is a bull that they've bred on his property specifically for the PBR Tour. Last time he was ridden was back in October last year in Tamworth for a score of 83.75. They rode him Sam Woodle up at Mackay. It was also that same month last season for a 79. We had an 83.5 on him in Rockhampton by Caden Sandilands. But Lane Mellors is tonight going to be his night in Scone. Oh yeah, out and around. This is good. This is good. Come on, get behind him. Well, come on, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Monster Energy Tour of 2024. And the young man from Mundubbera, Queensland, Lane Mellors.
86 points! Oh, making it look easy, Lane Mellors right there. As you can see on that replay, Morgs, well in control. Lane, great body position. And he's just getting that done. That's a big number right there for him.
Well, there's a little more to the point. In the opening round of the competition, Lane Mellors had already qualified. He now, with an aggregate score, has progressed to the overall lead, 169.5 points. Let's get it up for him, ladies and gentlemen. Lane Mellors now becomes our leader in the competition. Well, it's Thomas Hudson, Dungog. He was 85.5 last night. Come on, let's get it on, Cowboy. Let's go on, go on. Well, it was Thomas Hudson in action, and the bull that he was on, that was Vertical Limits from the Lazy G Bucking Bulls. There's a bull with a great record, 18-4.
Vertical Limits underperforming on this occasion. Thomas Hudson is given the option of a re-ride. However, in pain and with a score on the board already, he decides to take the 80 points and add it to his aggregate, which puts him in second place overall. Next up, and also with a score on the board, Lachlan Richardson, the local favourite who had grown up in this region before moving to far north Queensland. His bull on bail.
$1.2 million in career earnings, and tonight, the bull that he's drawn, this is a bull called On Bail from the MJ Keeler Bucking Bulls. This bull has not been ridden in the last 12 months of competition. Hey, this is you, Lockie. This is you, Cowboy. Go on, Lockie. Oh, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, come on. You can't deny there was a lot of try and a lot of effort on that occasion.
Lachlan down at 5.61 seconds. Next up, Jackson Field on Smoke Show.
Highlights in the sport.
Jackson Field stomped after the dismount, the full weight of the bull landing on his leg. Paramedics on call to help him from the arena. Boston Leather then lined up for his re-ride on Mystery.
And I'm getting a little word here as well. This bull Mystery, the next bull coming out is the Sun. So we're about to see a father-son show. Here comes Boston, holding on strong. Get behind him, Scone. We're watching some great cowboy riding action here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think you realise the situation. 18 years of age, riding at his biggest event of his whole entire career. Let's give it up for him. Let's hear it for young Boston Leather. 18 years of age. Now, he moves up to about a 50% strike rate. He's ridden half of the bulls that he's been on.
83.5 for Leather. And then it's Bryn Francis loaded for his re-ride on Del Rio.
This is Del Rio from the Mains Bucking Bulls. He's got some ability. Boy, he's out, he's strong, and he's tough. And man, you do not stay down. That's Del Rio, ladies and gentlemen. Recall his name.
42.5 points for the Mains Bucking Bull. That brings up the 2023 reigning PBR Australia champion, Macaulay Leather, looking for his first score of the new season.
Now, I tell you, this kid rides good. Let's hope he can get it done tonight, Macaulay. This is what we come to see. Come on for the Australian champion. That's more like it. That's Macaulay Leather style. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you've just seen Australian champion in action. Let's hear it for him. Give it up for Macaulay Leather.
85 points for Macaulay on the Diamond S Bucking Bull Night Train. There are only 2 riders left, and the first of those, Clint Glass, lines up on Man Glitter.
This time, it is Clint Glass, Willow Tree. Now, this young man comes into the competition right amongst the overall leaders. Clint qualified with an 83.5. This is a good one. This time from the Morgan team. Hey, come on, Clint, looking to win some cash, but man, it has got him down. That is Man Glitter from Guy Morgan's cattle company down there in Victoria. Man Glitter was one of the high mark bulls of the competition. And I tell you something, hey, Guy Morgan, you're going to be happy with this. The Bucking Bull marked 43 points. That's the highest marked bull of our event. Man Glitter.
The last to buck out in Scone, Toby Hale, looking to make it 3 from 3 in a perfect event on Blondie's Bomber.
Well, we're off with Toby Hale. He's one of the guns that had him done earlier in the competition. He is still a big possibility to win a check in this event. He's won 64.5 points. Can Toby Hale get him done? Hey, come on, Toby. Oh, looks out over his shoulder. That's not the move that he was hoping to do, the boy from Serena. 19 years of age, he was drawn deep. Blondie's Bomber from the MJ Keeler Bucking Bulls. And he has got him on the ground. It's not going to be his night here tonight. The bull goes with 19-6.
When the dust finally settles in Scone, the top 8 look like this. 3 men have managed to cover 2 bulls each. But the one with the highest score, the comeback kid, Lane Mellors, the PBR Monster Energy Tour Scone Invitational Champion.
The last 2 years I haven't really been focused on the bull riding. I started a business and whatnot and started a family, and I just stepped away, and this year I said, right, I'm either coming to do it properly or not coming at all, and I'm here. I decided to show up. I don't know about chasing any Australian titles or anything, but I definitely know when I rock up I'm here to win, and I'm here to compete at the best of my ability, and yeah, I've always got the fire inside of me. I'm keen to get on bulls and I just love riding bulls. My youngest brother just started riding in the Rising Stars. It's becoming a family thing for me now. My next brother down, he'll be here in the next event ready for the PBR. It's going to be a big thing for our family for a long time yet.
The Cowboys just one half of the equation, and the Bulls had dominated most of the event. The best of the pen, receiving their Yeti High Bull Score of the event, Man Glitter from Morgan Cattle Company with his 43-point effort. Our riders and bulls will now move north. Join us next time as we experience all the action from the PBR Australia Monster Energy Tour Bow Desert Invitational.